My parents stole my wedding fund for my brother's startup, so I seized their retirement home. The credit card terminal let out a harsh, mechanical buzz that echoed through the silent florist shop. Declined, the clerk whispered, looking at me with pity. I felt the blood drain from my face as I stared at the insufficient funds alert on my banking app. The account was supposed to hold $50,000, my entire savings for the wedding next month. It held $12. I called the bank immediately. Ma'am, the operator said, a transfer was authorized at 9 a.m. this morning. It went to a joint account holder, Robert Vance, my father. I drove to my parents' house at 11 a.m., my hands shaking so hard I could barely grip the steering wheel. I walked in to find my dad and my younger brother, Jake, sitting at the kitchen table, clinking beer bottles. Jake was grinning, wearing a CEO t-shirt. Where is it? I asked, my voice trembling. Where's my wedding money? Relax, honey, Dad said, leaning back. We didn't spend it. We invested it. Jake finally had his big breakthrough. He's launching an app Uber for dog walkers, but exclusively for lizards. It's going to be huge. You gave my wedding fund to Jake? I screamed. I have vendors to pay. The caterer is due tomorrow. You can push the wedding back. Mom chimed in from the living room, not looking up from her magazine. Jake's opportunity is time sensitive. He needed the seed money today. Don't be selfish, Sarah. Your fiancé will understand. A courthouse wedding is romantic. Anyway, it wasn't her money to take. I yelled. That was the inheritance grandma left me. You were only on the account as a custodian from when I was 16, and we decided this is what's best for the family. Dad snapped, slamming his beer down. Jake needs a leg up. You're already successful. Stop acting like a brat. We'll pay you back when the app goes viral. So you stole from me, I said, cold clarity washing over me. To fund a lizard walking app. We borrowed it, Jake corrected, looking smug. And when I'm a billionaire, don't come crawling back. I didn't scream. I didn't flip the table. I walked out. I went straight to the courthouse and then to a lawyer. That's when the real bombshell dropped. See, my parents forgot one detail. When they convinced me to keep them on that account for emergencies, they signed a bank rider that linked the account to their home equity line of credit as overdraft protection. It was a perk to get a higher interest rate. They didn't just drain the cash. They legally tied their house to the debt if the funds were proven to be misappropriated. I filed a lawsuit for theft and conversion the next morning, but I didn't stop there. I canceled the wedding. I sent out an email to all 150 guests, including my parents' wealthy friends they were desperate to impress. The wedding is canceled due to unforeseen financial theft committed by Robert and Linda Vance, who embezzled the wedding fund to support a lizard walking startup. The fallout was instant. My parents' phones started blowing up. They called me screaming. You humiliated us, Mom wailed. The neighbors are talking. You stole 50 grand, I said. And now, I'm getting it back. They refused to settle, thinking I wouldn't sue family. They were wrong. The judge looked at the transaction history, saw the inheritance trail, and ruled in my favor in less than 20 minutes. Judgment, $50,000 plus legal fees and damages. Total, $65,000. They didn't have the cash. Jake had already spent half of it on a launch party and a custom gaming PC. So, I executed the judgment against their assets. The sheriff arrived at their house at 8 a.m. on a Tuesday. I watched from my car as the tow truck hooked up Dad's prized 1969 Mustang. You can't take my car, Dad screamed, running down the driveway in his bathrobe. That's my retirement project. It's a seized asset, the deputy said, handing him the paperwork, to satisfy the judgment for Sarah Vance. Sarah, stop this, Mom yelled, seeing me. We're your parents. You're ruining us over money. You ruined my wedding, I said, rolling down the window. And you did it for lizards. By the way, how's the app doing? The market wasn't ready, Jake mumbled, standing behind them, looking terrified. Neither was I said. Enjoy the walk. They had to take out a second mortgage on the house to pay me the rest of the balance to save their furniture from being auctioned. I used the money to elope in Italy. I haven't spoken to them since. Am I the monster for seizing my dad's dream car, or did they crash their own future when they stole mine?